The Reserve Bank, or you can find on the Reserve Bank website, arguments not to have cash in the economy. The Reserve Bank is genuinely and strenuously activist on this. They don't want cash either. And I guess you can get all conspiracy theory about it, and maybe it's not that much of a conspiracy theory, that governments would prefer we not have cash because they know everything that's going on when we get rid of it entirely. I thought to talk about this, we'd have a chat to a man who's in the cash business. From the company Next Payments, that looks after all the ATMs that the banks no longer provide, is Tim Wildash. He's their executive chairman. Tim, thanks for coming to speak to us today. I get the feeling the Reserve Bank is sort of on the push for this. Everything you read, they push out publicly, wants to imply that cash is done, cash is over.
Well, you're right, Jason. I think even Philip Lowe said that in the speech in Perth, one of his last speeches. He smiled after a journalist asked a question and said, let's hope cash continues to decline. So you're on the money there.
Wow. Do they actually hope that? I mean, is it just a convenience thing from government that they hope it goes, or do you think it's more sinister than that?
Well, from an administrative point of view, there's a lot more money for all of the organisations in digital payments, and there's a lot less workload. So one would assume that they would like to see that happen.
I spoke about this earlier. There is this sort of practice now where cash is not accepted. I always thought it was unlawful. Apparently it's not, but it depends how you read the law, of course. But there's also the new one that's coming in that there's a surcharge for paying cash. So just like there's a surcharge for tapping, there's a surcharge for pulling dollars out now. Again, got to be unlawful. Apparently not.
No, I think the law states that they have to offer a surcharge-free method of payment. So it's either take your method of payment as being tap and go, but charge no surcharge, or you have to have cash available, which is no surcharge. But you're right, there is a fee to get cash in certain instances. If you go to the banks these days, they'll charge you $5, $6, $7, $10 to do a cash negotiation. And the ATMs more and more often are charging $3, $2.80 to get cash.
It's breathtaking. It's breathtaking that it's just happened. Like a lot of things that are quite profound, they just happen and no one ever talks about it, no one ever debates it. Can you just take me back to that? They have to provide a method that doesn't have a surcharge. So, you know, we're finding more and more that it doesn't matter where you go, you're going into shops. Are there a selection of words that you have to use almost in order to get through the surcharge?
Well, you know, if you're going to tap and go, what we recommend is that you place your card in and you don't choose the credit function, because in that case you'll only pay a very minimal fee or no fee. But of course the equipment that the banks have out there and the independents have out there channels you through to Visa or MasterCard, and they will charge you the 1.5, 1.65%. I paid $8.70 last night on an account because I was asleep at the wheel and paid by credit. So it's a lot of money, and I think the average household is paying $1,500 a year now on fees, Jason. Wow. So it's getting to a serious number, isn't it?
Well, it's a discrete form of tax.
I think the scary part, Jason, the scary part here is if they didn't have cash in the system to keep them honest, what would they charge?
Yeah,
we saw you know, it's frightening, really. The $55 in Sydney a couple of days ago by the MG Garage, you couldn't pay by cash, but it was or if you did pay by cash, sorry, it was a $55 fee. Well, they've withdrawn that now after pressure from the media, but you know, anything's possible if you haven't got cash to keep them honest.
Does anyone actually go and investigate this? I mean, can you ring the ACCC or can you ring Fair Trading and say this is going on? Because I think invariably you find yourself at the cash register of the Thai restaurant and you've got a young kid behind the cash register there. He or she, you know, probably dealing with their own language barrier issues anyway, they're not going to know what the rights and the rules are.